Okay, let's see Chat GPT create a Darth Vader story for us. I want to see a story told of what it's like to encounter Darth Vader from the perspective of a Jedi. Here we go.
I received a distress call from the Resistance, requesting a personal meeting at an old, abandoned Resistance base. As I approached the base, a sense of foreboding washed over me. The air was thick with an eerie silence that seemed to permeate everything around me. As I entered the base, I could feel the tension building within me. The silence was broken only by the sound of my own footsteps as I made my way deeper into the base. The place was deserted, and it seemed as though there was no one around. But then, we found the body of a recently slain Jedi in the dark. Before we could react, a red lightsaber ignited, revealing the presence of Darth Vader himself. In an instant, I knew that we had fallen into a trap set by the Dark Lord. Fear and desperation filled my heart as I watched the other Jedi draw their weapons and engage in battle. As the fight raged on, I could feel the power of the dark side of the Force emanating from Vader. His moves were swift and precise, and his power was terrifying to behold. He was like an unstoppable force, and we were no match for him. Despite our best efforts, Vader was relentless, and we found ourselves backed into a corner. We faced difficult choices and had to work together to survive against Vader's attacks. But the Dark Lord was too powerful, and it was clear that we could not defeat him. Along the way, we discovered more about Vader's plans and the dark secrets he had been hiding. But even with this knowledge, we could not overcome his immense power. One of my fellow Jedi sacrificed himself to buy us time to escape. As we fled the base, I could feel the weight of defeat bearing down on me. Darth Vader was truly unbeatable, and I knew that we would have to find a new strategy if we hoped to defeat him. But for now, I was grateful to have escaped with my life. After narrowly escaping from Darth Vader's trap, I returned to my home planet to reunite with my wife and daughter. I was grateful to be alive and back with my family, and I went to bed that night feeling relieved and happy to be home. But my peaceful slumber was suddenly interrupted by a sense of dread. I bolted upright in bed and realized that something was wrong. I felt a disturbance in the Force, and I knew that my worst fears had been realized. I rushed to my wife and daughter's room, but it was too late. They were gone, taken by Darth Vader himself. I felt a surge of anger and despair, knowing that my family had been used as bait to lure me into Vader's trap. When I finally tracked down Vader, he revealed that a tracking beacon on my ship during the ambush led him straight to my home. He held my family hostage and demanded my obedience in exchange for their safety. My heart sank, knowing that having a family was dangerous for a Jedi. Ties could lead to the dark side, and Vader knew exactly how to use my secret family against me. I knew that I had to do whatever it took to save my daughter, so I reluctantly agreed to Vader's demands. But I couldn't believe what happened next. Vader declared that he would kill one of my family members to show how serious he was. He held out his lightsaber towards my wife, and I pleaded with him to spare her. But then he held out his lightsaber towards my daughter, and I pleaded even harder. Vader thanked me for revealing which family member I cared more about and then mercilessly killed my wife. I was filled with rage and grief, and I knew that I had to stop Vader at any cost. "You monster!" I shouted at him. "I will never serve you." Vader simply stood there and replied, "We shall see. You will become my Inquisitor, and your daughter will thank you for your service." I followed Vader onto his ship, filled with anger and determination. I knew that I had to find a way to save my daughter and take revenge against Vader for the death of my wife. But I also knew that I had to resist the temptation of the dark side and stay true to my Jedi teachings. This was going to be the ultimate battle between good and evil, but I was determined to get revenge.